Right now, somewhere, rain is hitting a window, and you are watching it. You check your phone, you check it again. Nothing has changed. The rain keeps falling, and something in your chest tightens. This feeling has a name: restlessness, boredom, a low, itchy kind of anxiety that makes you want to do something, anything, even though there is nothing to do. But the real answer is far stranger. That tightness in your chest is not new. It did not begin with bad Wi-Fi or canceled plans. It began hundreds of thousands of years ago, in a world where a week of rain could mean the difference between eating and starving. Your brain still remembers that world. It just forgot why. Picture your ancestors, somewhere in East Africa, 200,000 years ago. The sky turns gray, then it stays gray. A week passes, and the rivers rise, and the ground turns to mud, and the animals they normally hunt scatter into hiding. There is no roof to sit under and scroll. There is no delivery app. There is a shelter made of branches and hide, and there is waiting. And waiting, it turns out, was one of the most dangerous things a human being could do. Here is what almost nobody tells you about early human survival. It was not built on strength. It was not even built on intelligence in the way you might imagine. It was built on the ability to handle unpredictability. Weeks of rain, years of drought, sudden cold snaps that lasted a decade. The paleoanthropologist Rick Potts has spent decades studying exactly this problem. His research points to something called variability selection. The idea is simple, but it changes everything. Early humans were not shaped by any one stable environment. They were shaped by constant, unpredictable swings between wet and dry, hot and cold, abundance and scarcity. The humans who survived were not the strongest. They were the ones whose brains could handle not knowing what came next. Think about that for a moment. Your ability to sit with uncertainty, the same ability that feels so difficult when the rain will not stop, was once the single most valuable survival trait a person could have. So why does waiting still feel unbearable? Because your brain was never rewarded for sitting still. It was rewarded for doing something, checking, scanning, preparing. In the ancestral world, a week of rain was not empty time. It was the most important time of all. When the rain trapped a group of early humans inside a shelter, they did not simply sit in silence. They worked. They repaired tools. They wove baskets. They told stories. The anthropologist Polly Wiesner spent years living among the Juhonsi people of the Kalahari Desert, one of the last hunter-gatherer societies on Earth. She noticed something remarkable about how they used their downtime. During the day, conversation was almost entirely practical. Who found food? Who needs help? What happened at the last hunt? But at night, especially during long stretches when people were confined together, the conversation changed completely. It turned into stories, myths, jokes, tales about distant relatives, ancestors, and the spirit world. Wiesner found that these nighttime stories did something daytime conversation never could. They built trust. They strengthened alliances. They mapped an entire social network of who could be relied on when resources ran low. In other words, when your ancestors were trapped by weather, with nothing to hunt and nowhere to go, they were not wasting time. They were building the exact social bonds that would keep them alive during the next crisis. The rain did not pause survival. It was survival, just a quieter kind. Now think about what you do when you're stuck inside during a storm. You call someone. You message a friend you haven't spoken to in months. You feel a pull toward connection that seems to come from nowhere. It does not come from nowhere. It comes from thousands of generations of humans who used exactly these moments to check in, to strengthen the web of people they would need later. But surviving a week of rain required more than stories. It required something even harder. It required humans to resist the urge to act too soon. This is where the story gets even stranger, and where a completely different kind of research enters the picture. In the 1960s, the psychologist Walter Mischel ran a now famous experiment at Stanford University. He placed a marshmallow in front of a child and made a simple offer: eat it now or wait a little while, and receive 2 marshmallows instead. Some children grabbed the marshmallow immediately. Others found ways to distract themselves. They looked away. They sang quietly. They covered their eyes. And by doing so, they were able to wait, and they were rewarded for it. Mischel's later research suggested that the children who could delay gratification tended to show better outcomes years down the line, in areas ranging from school performance to stress management. But here is the part that almost never gets discussed. Delayed gratification is not a modern virtue invented by self-help books. It is an ancient survival skill. During a week of rain, when food stores had to be rationed, when there was no guarantee of when the sky would clear, the humans who could resist eating everything immediately were the ones who made it to day 7. The ones who ate everything on day 1 did not. Your ability to wait, the very same skill being tested in a room full of marshmallows, was quite literally shaped by storms. This is where the story finally turns towards something you were not expecting, because that ancient waiting instinct, the one built by rain, by scarcity, by uncertain skies, is the same instinct running underneath your financial decisions today. When you resist spending on something you want right now, so that you can save for something bigger. You are using the exact same mental machinery your ancestors used to ration food during a storm. When you panic and want to sell an investment the moment the market dips, that is not weakness. That is the part of your brain built for sudden, visible danger. The part that once needed to react instantly to a flash flood or a predator. And when you feel that itchy, restless boredom on a rainy day, unable to sit still, unable to simply wait, you are feeling an ancient alarm system that once kept your ancestors alive by pushing them to prepare, to plan, to check on their alliances before the storm got worse. There is one more piece to this. Shelter itself. Archaeological evidence from sites in southern Africa shows some of the earliest known examples of humans building intentional, weatherproof shelters using branches, grass, and animal hide, dating back tens of thousands of years. These were not random piles of sticks. They were engineered structures, built with an understanding of wind direction, water runoff, and insulation. Building a shelter that could survive a week of rain required something your ancestors rarely get credit for: long-term thinking. Planning for a future that had not happened yet, based on a memory of a past storm that had. That is the same mental leap required to save money for a future you cannot yet see. The same leap required to invest in something today for a benefit that will not arrive for years. Long before there was a bank, there was a roof. And building that roof required imagining tomorrow's rain today. So when it rains for a week, and you feel that restless, uncomfortable pull to do something, understand what is actually happening. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are running code that is older than agriculture, older than money, older than the written word. The urge to check in with people, the urge to prepare, the urge to resist eating everything today so there is something left tomorrow. All of it was built inside a shelter, listening to rain that would not stop, by people whose names you will never know, but whose instincts you carry every single day. The next time you're stuck inside during a storm, or stuck waiting on a financial decision that tests your patience, notice the discomfort, notice the pull to act immediately, and remember that this feeling is not a flaw in your character. It is a message from an ancestor who once survived 7 days of rain by doing exactly what you're doing right now, waiting, watching, and trusting that the sky, eventually, always clears. Right now, somewhere, rain is still hitting a window, but this time, you know exactly why you're watching it.